Buddha, or Gautama Buddha, also known as Shakyamuni Buddha, was a great, extraordinary spiritual master from ancient India. Born as Prince Siddhartha Gautama in the 5th century BC, he would have naturally inherited the vast wealth of a kingdom. However, the prince left the palace life in search of spiritual knowledge. After years of contemplative seeking, the Buddha attained great enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. He then shared the merits of his practice by providing a method for other sentient beings to be freed from the cycle of death and rebirth. The rich treasury of Buddha's spiritual doctrine on universal truths is studied and revered to this day for its deep wisdom and compassion. The Mahayana Mahaparinirvana Sutra, or Nirvana Sutra, is a Tathagata Kalpa Sutra of Mahayana Buddhism. It is considered as a major Mahayana Sutra. The actual date of the original sutra is not known. However, it is said that its early texts may have been written before or during the 2nd century CE. The complete original Sanskrit text of this sutra is lost with only remnants of a small number of fragments, but the texts in Chinese and Tibetan translation are in existence. The sutra was translated into Chinese twice, namely in 416 CE by Faxian and in 421 CE by Dharmaksema. The translations are apparently from two substantially different source texts, and the difference is in their teachings on Buddha nature. The Dharmaksema's version states that all sentient beings have the potential to attain Buddhahood, while Faxian's indicates that some will never attain Buddhahood. The Dharmaksema's version is more popular in East Asia and is influential in the development of East Asian Buddhism. We will continue with chapter 15 of the Mahayana Mahaparinirvana Sutra on the parable of the moon, where Buddha will further reveal to us more enlightening tales featuring the moon, stars, and sun. Chapter 15 on the parable of the moon. Also, next, O good man, this is like the doctor who makes effort and imparts basic medical knowledge to his son, saying that this is the root medicine, this is for taste, that is for color, etc., so as to enable his son to become familiarized with the various properties of medicines. The son pays heed to what his father says, makes effort, learns, and comes to understand all the different types of medicine. The time comes when his father dies. The son yearns, cries, and says, "Father taught me, saying that this is root medicine, this is of the stem, this the flower, and this for color." It is the same with the Tathagata. In order to guide us, he gives beings restrictions. So one should try to act in accordance with those restrictions and not contrary to them. For those people of the 5 deadly sins, for those slandering wonderful Dharma, for the Ikchantika, and for those who may do such deeds in days to come, he manifests such. All this is for the days after the Buddha's death, for the Bhikshus to know that these are important points in the sutras. These are the heavy and light aspects of the precepts. These, the passages of the Abhidharma, which are weighty and not weighty. This is to enable them to be like the doctor's son. Also next, O good man, humans see, once every 6 months, a lunar eclipse, and in the heavens above, just for a time, we see the lunar eclipse. Why? Because the days are longer there in the heavens, and shorter in the human world. O good man, it is the same with the Tathagata. Both gods and humans say, the Tathagata's life is short. This is as with the beings of the heavens, who see the eclipse of the moon often for a short time. The Tathagata likewise, for a short time manifests 100,000 million billion nirvanas, crushing out the maras of illusion, of the skandhas, and of death. Hence 100,000 million billion heavenly maras, or know that the Tathagata enters nirvana. Also, he displays 100,000 innumerable karmas, or this comes from the fact that he follows the various natures of the world. Thus, does it go with his manifestations? They are innumerable, boundless, and inconceivable. For this reason, the Tathagata is eternal and unchanging. Also next, O good man, beings take delight, for example, in seeing the bright moon. That is why we call the moon that which is pleasing to see. If beings possess greed, malevolence, and ignorance, there can be no pleasure in such seeing. The same with the Tathagata. The Tathagata's nature is pure, good, clean, and undefiled. This is what is most pleasing to behold. Beings who are in harmony with Dharma will not shun such seeing. Those with evil minds are not pleased by such seeing. Hence, we say that the Tathagata is like the bright moon. Also, next, O good man, regarding sunrise, there are 3 differences of time, which are spring, summer, and winter. In winter, the days are short, spring is in between, and summer is the longest. The same with the Tathagata. In the 3,000 great thousand worlds, to all those short-lived beings and Sravakas, he manifests a short life. Those seeing it all say, the Tathagata's life is short. This is comparable to a winter's day. To bodhisattvas, he manifests a medium-length life. It may last for a kalpa or less. This is similar to a spring day. Only the Buddha can know the life of the Buddha. This, for example, is like a summer's day. O good man, the Tathagata's delicate and undisclosed teaching of Mahayana Vaipulya is given to the world like a great downpour of Dharma. If any person in the days to come upholds, reveals, understands such teachings and benefits beings, know that such a person is a true bodhisattva. This is the sweet rain of heaven that falls in the summer. If Sravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas hear the hidden teaching of the Buddha Tathagata, This is like encountering great cold on a winter's day. If a bodhisattva hears the hidden teaching, i.e., that the Tathagata is eternal and unchanging, this is like the burgeoning that comes about in spring, and the Tathagata's nature is neither long nor short. He only manifests himself for the sake of the world. This is the true nature of all Buddhas. Also, next, O good man, for example, stars are not seen in the daytime, but everybody says the stars die out in the daytime, but actually they do not die. The reason that they are not seen arises from the fact that the sun is shining brightly. The same with the Tathagata, the Sravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas cannot see. This is as in the case of the stars that cannot be seen in the daytime. Also, next, O good man, for example, in the gloom of the night, sun and moon are not seen. The ignorant say, the sun and the moon have died, but in truth, the sun and moon are not lost. The case is like this. At the time when the Tathagata's wonderful Dharma dies out, the three treasures are also not seen. This is the analogous situation. It is not that they have eternally gone. Hence, one should know, indeed, that the Tathagata is eternal and that he does not change. Why not? Because the true nature of the three treasures does not get tainted by any illusions. Also, next, O good man, for example, in the dark half of the month, a comet may appear at night, shining brightly like a flame, and soon it will die away. Beings see this and say that it foreshadows ill fortune. The case is analogous to all Pratyeka Buddhas too. Coming out in the Buddha-less days, beings see and say, the Tathagata has truly died, and they entertain thoughts of apprehension and sorrow. But, truth to tell, the Tathagata has not died. It is as with the sun and moon, which know of no extinction. Also next, O good man, for example, when the sun rises or the mist disperses, the situation is the same regarding this great Nirvana Sutra. If one should once give ear to it, or ill and the karma of avich hell will die out, nobody can fathom what obtains in this great Nirvana, which expounds the hidden store of the nature of the Tathagata. For this reason, good men and women entertain the thought that the Tathagata is eternal, that he does not change, that Dharma does not cease to be, and that the Sangha treasure does not die out. Hence, we should employ means, make effort, and learn this sutra. Such a person, in the course of time, will attain unsurpassed enlightenment. That is why this sutra is said to contain innumerable virtues, and is also called one that knows no end of enlightenment. Because of this endlessness, we can say Mahaparinirvana, the light of good, shines as in the sun's days. As it is boundless, we say great Nirvana. Elated viewers, it's been a pleasure to have your company on today's selection from the Mahayana Mahaparinirvana Sutra, Chapter 15 on the Parable of the Moon, Part 2 of 2, on words of wisdom